Tribe Church, and happy 4th birthday. He says to enter his gates with thanksgiving, and I am so thankful to him.
I believe that the future is brighter. I believe in his promise for me. I believe that he's working and he's not done. The best is yet to come. I know he makes the anxious courageous. I know he makes the doubters believe. I know he won't stop working 'cause he's not done. The best is yet to come. I've got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Lord, I believe with your life in me, I've just begun. Best is yet to come. I believe that he gives second chances. I believe he works all things for good. I believe that he's working and he's not done. The best is yet to come. I've got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Lord, I believe with your life in me, I've just begun. I've got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Lord, I believe with your life in me, I've just begun. The best is yet to come.
Come on.
I've got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I've got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I've got my hopes high. You hold my hopes rise. I've got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I've got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I've got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I've got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I've got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Lord, I believe with your life in me, I've just begun. I've got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Lord, I believe with your life in me, I've just begun. The best is yet to come.
This song has kind of become our anthem song here at Tribe. I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise treasures the faith, oh, they're never enough. Then you came along. You put me back together, and every desire, oh, is now satisfied here in your love. Yeah, oh, there's nothing, oh, better than you. There's nothing, oh, better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, we know it's true. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain, yes, He's the God of the valley. Declare it. And there's not a place mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Sing it out. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. Oh, you give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. Oh, you turn graves into gardens. You turn foes into armies. Yes, you turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing. Sing it out. Lord, there's nothing. No, nothing is better than you. Nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Woo! You turn graves into gardens. You turn bows into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. Come on! You turn gyms into churches. You turn boats into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. He's the only one. Only one who can. You're the only one who can. Praise Him this morning. He is so worthy.
Hey. Let's give a big shout of praise. 4 years. 4 years, we are still here. I was fine. Then you looked at me. I was fine.
You were not
I was
fine.
I was crying there. The over-under on how many times I cried today is 6. So this is one.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, the over is probably the best bet. We are so excited that you're here to join us for our 4-year anniversary. It's amazing to think that this started 4 years ago in a movie theater, setting up and tearing down every week, and now we're in the churches. It's incredible what God can do, what God has done.
My name is Pastor Carrie.
I'm Pastor Matt, and we have some announcements for you. We'll get more emotional later, but we have some announcements for you. What do we have coming up, Pastor Carrie?
Yeah. So this Friday at 6 o'clock in the Annex, because our student ministry is going to be tailgating at the Plainfield High School homecoming game. 6 o'clock, I assume, in the parking lot. Just look for the people who love each other a lot, and you'll find them. Okay?
Yeah, Yeah,
Yes.
keep it. Look on the social. September 25th.
September 25th, 23rd.
23rd. Never mind.
So
23rd.
23rd. Yes. Okay. September 23rd.
Yeah, I don't do math
That's
well.
a Friday,
Yes.
right? That's Friday. Yeah. We're not going to be there. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
What else do we have coming up?
We have, I guess the Annex is meeting this 25th. This Sunday where the Annex is going to be from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Again, that's our student ministry. Guys, it is going really well.
It is
Okay.
going really well.
I don't know if you saw the pictures, but you do not want to miss this if you are a student. And those of you who are like, man, I'm like graduated like a year and a half ago or whatever, like young adult stuff is coming.
Yeah,
Stick
absolutely.
with me. Just stay with me, guys. It's
Also,
going to be good.
if this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks for coming to our 4-year anniversary. You can text the word new to the number you see in the screen, 317-527-4432. We use it each week. Text the word new. We'd love to give you a free gift. Love to give you notes. We'd love to help you get plugged in here at Tribe.
If this is your first time here, the service is not going to look like a normal service today. I know of another group of people who went to a church service one time and it ended up being the anniversary service. We'll tell that story here in just a minute. But it's going to not look like a normal service. So what we're about to do right now is going to be at the end of service. So I don't want you to come in here if this is the first time or your first couple of times and be like, man, they talk about finances right off the bat. That's weird. I don't like that. We don't normally. But we are going to, because of just the order of things today, we thought it would be easiest to go ahead and talk about giving right now.
Yes, we have multiple ways to give. You can give online. You can give by texting the word Tribe to 77977. Or we do have a giving station here, and every week we say we don't want something from you. We
Want something for you.
see how we say it every week. People know it, and it's because it's true. We don't want your money. We just want you to have a relationship with Jesus. We want you to be in community with other people, and we want you to live life and love it well. And that's what we're trying to do every single week.
Yeah. So I'm going to pray over our offering really, really quick. God, we thank you for every dollar that is given through Tribe Church. We thank you for every minute of time
Yes.
that is given through Tribe Church. We thank you for bringing the most generous people in Hendricks County right here to this place to make your name more well known in this conversation. So grateful, God. All right. So
Social 30. Why don't you take 30 seconds, greet people around you, and say happy 4-year anniversary.
So you'll give. My mic is on. Love you. Notes for next year. We have a longer social 30 on the
Yeah.
on the anniversary.
All right, that's
than
enough.
the
Stop
longer.
talking.
You be nice. You be nice. Love you guys. All right, we are so excited. Every year on our anniversary, we do something really special, and it's called the 5 for 5. We bring out 5 communicators to communicate for 5 minutes each about just how their lives are different than they were
Yeah,
a
and
year ago.
they have a tight 5 minutes. I even have a horn here just in case people go over.
There it is.
Yeah, that's in case they go over the 5 minutes. Sometimes production, there's a clock that goes on behind them, and sometimes you can see if production is really digging what people are saying because they just change the time. And you're like, man, I thought they had 2 minutes left, and now they have 3 minutes left? What happened?
Before we
I already
go-
heard them conspiring before the service.
Before we go into our 5 for 5, we do have just a couple things that we wanted to tell you and to talk about this morning. For me specifically, this last year has been a lot about looking back before looking forward. Each Sunday night, I do a weekly reflection on my Instagram stories. And it's been a really good thing for me in this last year, every week to start the week by sort of reflecting on what's happened and looking forward to what's happening next. And so that's kind of what today is about a little bit. And a lot of times on our anniversary, we do a gift of some sort for the congregation. Last year, we did the We Love You a Lot t-shirts, and we decided to do something different this year.
Yeah, so if you noticed over here in our makeshift foyer area, we've put up a timeline to show what God has done through Tribe over the last 4 years of the church. So it shows pictures and just little moments of cool stuff that we're celebrating for the last 4 years.
Absolutely. So we're excited to continue to build that timeline. We are going to run out of space really soon, so we'll figure it out though. It's going to be really, really
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. A lot of people that launched the same day we did are not celebrating 4 years today. So we are so honored that we get to, and we know it's because of you. And so on behalf of us, we just want to say thank you to you, and we love you a lot. So enjoy the timeline. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to get bigger. It's going to be so good. And every year at our anniversary, we like to tell little stories from our launch. I mentioned earlier that when we decided we wanted to launch a church, we were like, we should launch with this organization. Are there any churches around here that launch without organization? And so we found one, and we drove up there, and not even kidding you, they open up the service, and the pastor comes out, and he's like, welcome to the 7-year anniversary. And we were just like, what? You want to talk about sign from God?
Yeah. And then he's like, we're going to just talk about how we launched the church. We're like, oh.
Yeah, taking notes, writing things
Well, this
down.
is really convenient.
But that's not the story we want to tell today.
No,
we want to tell a different story today.
So we knew that one of the sort of prominent things that we wanted to make sure happened at Tribe was we wanted a way to send people out. We wanted to be able to close the service the same way every time, because a lot of times you go to churches and they kind of wrap up and they're like, all right, we'll see ya, and it's a little awkward every time. And we're like, wouldn't it be great if we just kind of had a button on the end of the service, just something that we could say every single time. And we knew that from early on when we started talking about planting Tribe Church. And as we got closer and closer to the date, we still didn't have anything. And we saw some other churches and what they said, and we're like, no, I don't like that. And nothing felt right. And there was a little bit of panic that started to ensue, because we knew that we wanted to do this, but we didn't know what it was. And we are very much creatures of habit, and we continually watch through the same shows over and over again. And there's a spreadsheet, and we just
cycle through.
We cycle through them, and we were cycling through the show How I Met Your Mother again for I don't know how many times. And there's an episode where 2 characters get married, and he was talking about the fact that there was a long road for them to get to that point, and it was not perfect. And there was a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot of issues, and that they knew that after that wedding that there was going to be a long road with a lot of mistakes and a lot of issues, and that they weren't going to be perfect. But the best thing that they could do was just love each other well. And we were like, that's it. Because we know that the church is going to be full of imperfect people. We're imperfect. It's going to make poor decisions. We're going to mess up. It's going to be hard. It's going to be rough. But at the end of the day, all we could do is love each other like God has asked us to love each other, because love is the best thing we do.
So we decided on love is the best. This is super awkward. It's fine. We decided that we were going to use love is the best thing we do, and we knew we wanted to have a slide with love is the best thing we do on it. But we did not ask our graphic designer to make a love is the best thing we do slide. We forgot. And so it's the night before, 2 or 3 nights before it was before practice service. And we knew that we needed a slide.
It was a practice service in our garage with all this stuff just set up.
Everything you see
and we're just
here,
pressing buttons to see what things do.
The soundboard, all of the speakers, luckily we didn't have neighbors at the time, but everything was in our garage. We're testing the mics.
Yeah, Toto's Africa was blasting.
Really loud. We had to train these mics on our voices, and so we're rapping into the mics. I don't know if you've ever heard a white girl who can't sing rap, but it's really special. To get the highs and the lows and
also
all the different
can't keep beat. That doesn't help.
Can't keep beat. Cannot keep beat. So we decide we need a slide. I have an app on my phone that makes graphics that will do. Do you understand what I mean? We're not talking like graphic designer graphics, like things that we'll do. And so I sat down on the steps in my garage next to Maddie Ray, and we made this Love is the Best Thing We Do. And I remember saying to her, we'll use this for a couple of weeks. We'll get in touch with our graphic designer. We'll have a new one made. That was 4 years ago. So we are not retiring the phrase. We are always going to close our service with love is the best thing we do, but we are retiring this slide. We had a new one made. So we had, in honor of what this slide has been, we had this, when we made the timeline, we had this made. This is going to hang in the back of the room so that we remember that love is the best thing we do. But we're retiring the slide. So that opens up, if you are a graphic-y person and you want to make a love is the best thing we do slide, go with God. Like, let's see them. Let's send them. We have a couple that we're going to use that are going to be our main ones. But yeah, sure. You want to make a Christmas one for me? I love it. Let's do it. So.
Are we doing that one right now? Are we showing the new one?
No, you get to see it at the end of the service.
Oh,
so
okay.
I did take a picture.
Mr. Michael Meek is in charge of this one.
Mr. Michael Meek made this one. I did take a picture at the end of the service on Wednesday when we had our midweek service, which was really great. If you weren't here, the band was so good that night. The speaker was okay. It was fine.
C+.
It was me. But I did take a picture of you with the last time that we used this slide. It's not a great picture of you, though.
Right.
I'll put it on the internet later.
Yeah, it's rare. I don't know how to look at cameras. Yeah. But we didn't realize when we said this just how much this would mean to the people here.
Yeah.
And how much you all would embrace it. Mm-hmm. And how much you would live it out and understand that love really is the best thing that we do. And this is two. Depends on how you're counting. I think that to be, where we're at right now, 4 years, and be the kind of loving church we are, and that's what we hear over and over from people that come in. Some people that don't stick around because they're like, gosh, it's a lot. And I'm like, we know, we love a lot, and that's why we say that. And we do mean it when we say that we love you, and we're just so, so grateful and so honored to be your pastors and to still be here after 4 years. Just want to thank you so much because it means everything.
All right. So we are going to move forward with our very first 5 for 5 for the year 2022. We're going to bring up a couple. We famously say very, very often that we don't chase people down. Like if people decide Tribe Church isn't it, we're like, all right, we love you. We'll see you later. We're not going to chase you down. But there are a couple exceptions to that rule. And Corey and Christy Shaw are an exception. Bailey and Annabelle, our daughter Bailey and Annabelle, met at Van Buren Elementary and became friends, and I met them, and I was like, these people are awesome. They're going to get what we're doing at Tribe. They need to come be a part of Tribe. And they resisted for, 2 years? Yeah. And then God started doing that thing where, you start running into the same person over and over and over again. And I saw Christy Shaw, 100 times in a month. And I was like, oh, God, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. We're going to get him.
Corey called me and he had some questions about the church, and it's like, when you're interested in somebody but you want to play it cool, you know what I mean? I was just like, you can come if you want, it's whatever, man, it's cool, whatever, just telling you about, just happy to answer questions, whatever. If you come, you come, I don't care, doesn't matter. So I didn't do great with that, but that's okay, because they're here with us now, and they're going to share for you for 5 minutes.
All right, please welcome Corey and Christy Shaw.
Welcome to Corey and Christy Shaw.
I'm really hoping I don't drop this mic. My hands are really sweaty right now. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to make my part really, really quick because he's going to use that microphone. That's fine. I'm taking this one anyway. Okay, good morning. Okay, I have 3 parts in 1 minute. It's going to go quick. Here we go. First, I was thinking about this morning, and I was thinking about how the beautiful part of everything about the 4-year anniversary, but about it's a birthday for Tribe, but that we're celebrating the birthday of Tribe when Tribe is actually the gift, I feel like, for us and in our family. So the second thing is, Corey and I, some of you know, we're involved in youth ministry for almost 10 years, and the best advice that I felt like I could give to our teenagers in our youth group and our young adults was, you have to find your own faith. You have to be you. You have to be you with God because that's who he created you to be. So you have to find your own faith. And what I didn't realize was that my husband at the time was having some challenges of his own in his faith. And during those challenges, I noticed that there was less music in our home, something that hadn't ever really happened. Less songs being written, less guitar being played. So then the third part is that I can tell you, I'm going to try to do this without crying. I can tell you exactly where I was standing in our home when I heard Corey writing a song for the first time about a month after we started coming to Tribe. And I just sat there, and I'm like, okay, this is where we're at. And then another, and then more music, and then another song, and he's putting them on the internet, and he's just loving people, and that's it. So for now, with a full heart, I get to just turn everything over to Corey. There you go.
Yeah. So I've had my journey, and at one point my theology was what I would call spaghetti against a wall. And I didn't know where I could even go and belong, and just walked in here, and it was like, there's a place that I could just be welcome no matter what. And I've written a lot of songs, and I could very easily make the cookie cutter, and I'm not dogging anyone, but I know all the right words to say. And I've lived a life with the right words to say and how to make people think, oh, he's fine. And there was a year of not doing that. And when I came back, I was like, I want to be more honest and more genuine, or else what's the point? So I wrote a song for Tribe. And hey, I'm going to play it. And you'll probably hear Matt's horn go off right about the second chorus. Fair warning. But did you guys hear something? But I'm going to need your help because I need you guys to stand up. And I'm going to teach you a part because I wrote this for all of us. And all right, and here's your part. Are you ready? You're going to do it with me. You go, na 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 na. Let me hear it. Huh? Na 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 na. All right, that's good. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're going to start with all of us doing our na-na part that we've just mastered. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Na 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 na.
Keep it up.
Na 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 na.
Good. Hey, what can I say? I've been carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, but oh, what's it all for? If every answer I believe makes my heart grow colder.
Na 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 na.
I know there is more. Feel this deeper beyond my power, but I'm not really sure if I am brave enough to fall from this shaky tower. I don't want an institution. You are more than just emotions. I don't need a stale religion. You're the movement, not the motions. I don't want an institution. You are more than just emotion. I don't need a stale religion. You're the movement, not the motion. Take me away from everything that gives me superiority. Help me to see that all that I need is inclusion and humility.
Na 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 na.
on the ledge. And as the terror fades away, I feel your love is still embracing me. I don't want an institution. You are more than just emotions. I don't need to stay religion. You're the movement, not the motion. I don't want an institution. You are more than just emotion. I don't need to stay religion. You're the movement, not the motion. Take me away from everything that gives me superiority. Help me to see that all that I need is inclusion and humility and love the Lord with all of your heart and your mind and your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Lord, help me to see the value in me comes from the one who made me, and if that value's in me, help me to see that it's in all my neighbors too. How can we love you if we don't love them well? How can we love you if we can't love ourselves? Take me away from everything that gives me superiority. Help me to see all that I need is inclusion and humility. Take me away from everything that gives me superiority. Help me to see that all that I need is inclusion and humility. Here we go. Na 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 I love you guys. Thank you.
That's definitely the first song at 5 for 5.
Yeah, first song. Whoa. Good? Maybe? Yes? No?
Mine's fine.
Yours is fine?
Yeah.
That's great. I love that for you.
Yeah,
I think I'm on.
it's good. I don't know.
You might have me.
Just give him a second. Takes a minute. They're switching everything over. This is a lot.
It's a lot.
This whole thing.
It's a lot.
So you know who's next, though?
I do. Do you know who's next?
No, I have
love
no
that for
idea.
you.
No.
This is why we co-lead, guys. No. So first of all, did you notice that they have like talk show music as they're coming up? That was Fonda's contribution to the anniversary this year. I love it.
Just that. That's all she did.
That's all she did. Nothing else.
That one thing.
That was her idea, and I was like, that's amazing. So she took care of all that. I love it. It's so cool. So our next person is no stranger. I knew that this person was going to say yes to 5 for 5 because last year, even though they had not been coming for very long, when we said we need group leaders, this family was like, yes. And I was immediately impressed by that. And so when we were talking about who we wanted to include this year for 5 for 5, Anna Ivy was high on our list. So. Yep. Love you.
It's bright up here. All right, this is why I don't wear makeup to church, because my family all says that I don't have any emotions, but if you see me weeping through worship, just mind your own. So, good morning. If you don't know me, I'm Anna Ivy. My husband is Dave Ivy, and he was actually the person who was supposed to be up here speaking today, but if you know my husband, you know that it's a lot for him to even sit in this room while I'm talking about him. So in January of 2020, the church that we were attending was, I'm like shaking like a leaf right now. Too much coffee. So the church that we were attending was getting ready to close a time capsule that they were going to open 5 years later. And we were to write a prayer for our future selves. Mine was one sentence. I just wrote that I pray that God will radically change our family. There was nothing really wrong. We just knew that we weren't where God wanted us to be. We weren't doing, what he wanted us to do. We knew that God created us to live in community, but our family was incredibly isolated. So we all know what happened 3 months after I wrote that prayer. I was sent home to work remotely. The kids were home for 5 months. We didn't get together with our families. We didn't get together with our friends. We couldn't even attend church in person. So never have we needed community more. Through those long, lonely months, Dave and I grew closer, but we really began to question religion. I've been going to church since long before I went to Jesus. But my faith was strong, but I began tearing down a lot of the structure that I had been given through the generations of my family's faith, if you will. So we began to examine a lot of the things that we had been taught regarding God and church while growing up. We had frequent, long discussions about what God really wanted for our lives and for our family. By the time we were allowed back to church in person, I was the only one in our nuclear family who was still attending. And if I'm honest, it was out of obligation. It wasn't home. It wasn't inspiring. After a while, I stopped going to. Our spiritual lives felt stagnant, and our isolation had never been more apparent. Fast forward to July of 2021. I just lost my place in my app. Sorry. I know, right? I'm like, where the heck am I at? Okay. Our daughters and I were attending a back-to-school function, and we were in a long, hot line to get Frigid Frog. Woohoo for Frigid Frog. It just happens that sweet Heather Blewett was also standing in the same line. We had been acquainted before, so we struck up a conversation. And in talking, Heather asked where we were attending church and if we'd like to come join them here at Tribe. It was really the kick in the pants that I needed to find a new church home for our family. Over the next few weeks following that invitation, I watched all of the Asking for a Friend series on YouTube. I mean, you have to know what you're getting into before you join a new church, right? Yeah, I lost my place again. Sorry, guys. I made Dave watch them too. If any of you have any friends or family who are on the fence about joining you at Tribe, I strongly recommend that you have them watch those. After watching those sermons, I was sure that this was the place that we were supposed to be. So on August 8th of 2021, our family attended Tribe for the first time, and we haven't looked back. We were welcomed with smiling faces and open arms. We began running into Maddie and Joe and Lisa and Jason at other school events, and were greeted by the same smiling faces and friendly banter. I was invited into Maddie and Joe's home to get to know other Tribe women. Dave was invited to the movies with the Meeks and the Columns, to enjoy Marvel films where he didn't have to talk too much. Heather learned that I have an insatiable fondness for World War II historical fiction. She's tired of being in book club with me. We quickly began forging lasting friendships. When pastors Matt and Carrie began talking about Tribe groups last winter, I didn't even give Dave a chance to say no. God had it on my heart for months that we needed to be involved and continue to meet new people and have meaningful interactions. So Dave was incredibly nervous our first few times that we opened up our home to our group, but he quickly became more comfortable, and our Tribe group quickly became our family. Before I knew it, my extremely shy and introverted husband was initiating group texts and inviting people to our home without my knowing. Each of our daughters have also forged new friendships since our time here. We affectionately refer to Lily Bohannon as 4 because she is like our 4th daughter, and even our cantankerous old dog has taken her as one of her own. Before Tribe, we had not attended a church that felt like home. Our family has never attended a church that we couldn't wait to go to on Sunday morning or Wednesday night, even after 3 hours of sleep following a Garth Brooks concert. Never before have I set aside our tithes and not come back to wonder if that money would be better spent somewhere else. Our entire family has fostered great friendships, and our lives are being transformed daily by the power of Jesus and the love of our tribe. We are growing in the Spirit and stepping out in faith like never before. We have a few common phrases around here, but I like to say that Tribe Church is just a bunch of real people doing real life, and love really is the best thing that we do.
Yeah, that's one. That's like 7.
I'm fine. No, I'm not crying. I have tears in my eyes. The lights are bright.
You were just making a lasagna. You were cutting some onions.
Right, yeah, exactly.
For one.
Exactly. Yeah. Some allergies.
The dust from our new sound booth. Poof, sound booth. What? Amazing. Amazing. Jeff and his team, amazing. Amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
All right, that one got me. That one really got me. I mean, like Corey was like, whoa, like that.
Yeah.
In the feels.
How was he? How was Corey?
Whoa.
Okay. That was perfect. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Christy and I share that thing where you have complicated feelings for the guy leading worship.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you lead worship, I have complicated feelings.
That's a very awkward conversation. Yeah, let's
Real people
transition.
Doing
Pull up.
Real people doing real life. All right. Speaking of the band and worship, our next 5 for 5 person, communicator, came because he wanted to play music.
Right. Yeah, I remember I saw him over at the Annex, and he was playing the bass, and I was like, man, he's really good, and we really need a bass player. I'm like, it would be great if you came to Tribe, for a lot of reasons. Not just that, but that would be great. That would be great, and he's been up here like almost every weekend since then.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So,
very faithful, and his arms are as big as my head. So,
please give a warm welcome to Morgan Mayer.
Hey. I'm usually a lot more comfortable up here with a bass in my hands. So yeah, without further ado. Here we go. Okay. But something that I've learned recently, being vulnerable and sharing, it can and will be uncomfortable. So over the past couple of weeks, never mind, I'm not there. There we go. My journey here started with one person's boldness. It's the main reason I'm here right today and being so uncomfortable, and that is Bo Maringer. Thank you, my boy. So he asked me so many times to come with him here all the time, and I just kept saying no. I don't know why, but I just kept saying no. But I'm very lucky that he didn't give up, because a little over a year later, here I am talking in front of all you. And this has been one of the best years of my life. I've made new friendships. I get to come up here every week and worship with incredibly talented musicians. And I even got some new gym bros to put through the ringer all the time. So I feel like I've grown an incredible amount over this time as well, especially in the sense that I feel more whole than I ever have, perhaps. Being here makes it feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. And everywhere I look, there are real people, genuine people that care about me. And this love for one another, this sense of community is what I really love about this place. The messages and sermons at any church can be great, but if the congregation doesn't back it up with their actions, they might as well be driving people away. But that doesn't happen here. If it did, I probably wouldn't be here right now, and I wouldn't feel the wholeness and fullness that I feel now And I truly believe that the best is yet to come. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And happy birthday, Mom.
For a minute, I thought you were like, "Just isn't my time." Like, shout out to T-Dog, P-Money. He's gonna go through the whole thing. He's like, "I got a mic now."
He like leaned over. I was like, oh, here we go. All right, our next 5 for 5 communicator is, when this person is not at church, as the speaker, when I'm the speaker, when this person is not at church, I feel it. I don't even know if she knows or not how much she raises the temperature in the room and how much more comfortable and confident I have become as a speaker because of her and her leadership and her being a lead worshiper here at Tribe from the minute she gets here till the minute she leaves. So.
That was great. Go ahead. Do it.
Please welcome Linda Bohannon.
Thank you for that. Don't deserve all of that, but thank you. You'll notice I'm very old school. I would never make it with the phone thing, so I asked for the podium so I could lean on it, so thank you for doing that. If you don't know me, I'm Jeff's mom. And I am extremely, extremely proud of him. I am also meme to Addison, Samantha, and Lily, my very, very precious granddaughters. But since coming to Tribe, we feel our family has grown so much. New sons and daughters, brothers and sisters that we've adopted and love so very much. We feel blessed to call you all our family and Tribe our home. You might think we came to Tribe because of those sweet granddaughters, and that is partially true, I have to admit. But we really came because of the enthusiasm and zeal we saw in Jeff and Kelly. They were so excited about their new church, and it was very contagious. We decided we had to come and see what was causing all the excitement. Our very first trip to Tribe was still when you were over at the theater. It was a very cold winter day, and there was Jeff and a group of you outside in the cold, carrying signs, welcoming and greeting people to Tribe. You may not believe this, but that was very much not typical for Jeff Bohannon. It was so amazing to see that. We were totally blown away by the enthusiasm we saw outside and inside, and it was very easy to see why Jeff and Kelly loved Tribe. Then COVID hit, and we had to watch Tribe online. But by the time Tribe was finally able to open the doors here at Vine, on Vine Street, we had decided that Tribe was for us. So we came and had the privilege of getting to know and love all of you. I love the messages and the wonderful, wonderful worship here. We have the best band ever. I have really enjoyed this last study in the book of Acts. To me, it's been really interesting to see the parallels between Tribe Church and that early church. You know, it talked about the boldness of the apostles. And the Bible says that people could tell that they had been with Jesus. Well, that's the spirit I see here at Tribe every Sunday. People who love Jesus and each other a whole lot. We have learned through that study that the early church did extraordinary things because they were following an extraordinary Savior. The early church was bold and audacious for Jesus. And you know, that's what I see here at Tribe. I've loved Jesus for a long, long time. He was my Savior, but I didn't always make him Lord of my life. I made a lot of stupid choices in my life. But when Jesus extended his grace and mercy to me, he forgave all that. And that's why I love him so much. He knows the real me, and he still loves me. He even knows the mistakes I will make tomorrow. And the amazing thing is that he has already forgiven me. You know, what kind of love is that? Jesus knew I would turn my back on him and make a mess of my life. But you know, he still suffered and died for me and for all of you. And that's why I love him so much. I am so glad that Jesus didn't stay in that tomb. He rose and appeared to those apostles and some of those in that early church. They saw him and they were never the same. And the world has never been the same either. I believe Jesus changes lives. Colossians says that the old is put off and the new is put on. I know he changed my life and Keith's, and he really changed Jeff's. And I just love him for that. Here at Tribe, there are many of you whose lives have been changed by the love of Jesus, and it is so wonderful to see. There are people here at Tribe who were also bold and audacious for Jesus, just like that early church. You are bold because you know the amazing love of Jesus in your life. I have found through this study in Acts that to love Jesus first is to love others best. That's what that early church did. And that's why what I see here at Tribe, and that's why I love you guys so much.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I don't.
I love hearing just the running theme of, well, this other person really was loving Jesus and loving their church, and that made me want to go see what was happening.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Linda, way to preach, girl.
Yeah.
All right. We have one last set of communicators.
This is the only one I was really worried about the air horn for.
I don't even know what you say about Jason and Lisa Law, except that when we needed them, they stepped up recently. Their presence here has been felt from day one. They came in and we were like, all right, we're a big kid church now. Like, we got to get this together because these people, they're like the real deal. And they have become tremendous friends and are tremendous servants for Jesus and are part of our staff now, which is amazing. So please welcome Jason and Lisa Law.
Man, are we in the upside down? If you don't know, you haven't been paying attention to the socials, teenagers. You know what's up. Hey, before we get started, this Sunday we cannot do anything, so don't start the clock, Marty. We can't, don't even think about it. We cannot let this day even go a second further without honoring our pastors and the founding team. Can we just let them know? Matt's like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, dude, every time I get a chance, you guys deserve to be honored for the things that you do. Having parents that have been in ministry, being in ministry, I know stuff that goes on that nobody else knows, and even I don't know what the stuff you guys go through. So thank you to get us here to 4 years. So my name's Jason.
I'm Lisa. What? Are you want me to start? Okay.
We should have an over-under on me, because
I don't think most people have seen you in this fashion, so it's okay.
All right, so before we tell you how we got here, we should probably rewind a little bit to figure out kind of how we got our way here. Well, before we came to Tribe, we should let you know kind of the process that got us here. We had left a church that I had essentially grown up in for 30 years. Parents are volunteer staff. My dad's actually an elder there now. We dated. We got married there. Our kids were dedicated, baptized, and we served in every capacity. And after a lot of church hurt and disappointment, we felt like the Lord was leading us out, and we made the tough decision to leave. Shortly thereafter, we attended a church that loved us really, really well. And a couple months after, taking membership and all that stuff, we started serving. And in August of 2020, we just realized that, man, we are not healthy. We are just starting to experience the frustrations again, and we just realized, like, we need to step away. And from August of 2020 until early summer of 21, we were not in church. We were trying to do church online. We were successful in that, but it really wasn't, really didn't go our way. And
I guess I would say that hopefully you've seen us around here at Tribe and know that that's not uncharacteristic of us. We kind of jump all in. We are servants, very much so, and I think we just doing that too quickly made us recognize that we weren't in a healthy spot, so we took a step back.
We felt like the Lord intentionally pulled us away to heal, to be restored.
So during that, during shutdown, I think it gave us time to reflect and figured out what kind of church did we want to be a part of, and what was that church going to look like. And like Jason said, we did the online thing, and it was okay, but we weren't like all in. So we knew that we wanted to be a part of a church in the community that we lived in. We've been here in Plainfield for 7 years, and we knew that was important. We've commuted to churches that have been far away, and we were like, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to build community with the people that are here in the same community that we live in. We also wanted a congregation that obviously offered with people our own age. That was important to us. Not that the diversity thing isn't important, but we just felt like having that community with people that are going through seasons of life like we are was helpful for us and what we needed. And then I guess the modern worship. I mean, we are worshipers. I didn't grow up in church, contrary to Jason, and the church that I grew up in, it was hymns, and we sang out of a hymn book. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't like my heart wasn't in that, and so we wanted that modern worship. So those were the things that we looked for.
So in the summer of 21, we started feeling like the Lord was calling us back to community, and I'm definitely going over. So, you have one Sunday where you just start going to a comedic routine when you're doing announcements, and they don't let it anyway. So I was really phoned it that day. Anyway, so we visited another church, and we were visiting Tribe. Now secretly, I was kind of always pulling that she would agree that Tribe was going to be the one, because I had been watching Tribe for a long time, ever since the Urban Office Depot. I've been following the process all the way through to this building right now. And there was this, always just something about them. And there was one night where I actually was going to go work out at the Aquatic Center, and they were there doing church. I was like, oh, there they are. Do I go in there? And part of me is like, I've seen people like jump from church to church. And so I was like, oh, no, I had to get my excitement down, because I was like, I want to be a part, because there was just something. It's like, I want to be a part of that. And part of me is like, no, you're already going to a church. But there's always been something about Tribe that has just attracted me to it. And so we visited one church, visited Tribe, visited that church a couple times, and we visited this church, and is that one day she and I attended together, and we parked.
We parked in the parking garage over here, and I guess he was sitting in the car, and I looked at him, and I said, I guess we're going here now, huh? And of course he was like, yeah, and should we visit anywhere else? And I think my comment back to him was, why? This fits and this feels like home. I mean, I had been a couple of times, and it just fit. It just felt like home. So.
So then, after a couple of times of coming, Pastor Matt and Pastor Carrie, we asked, hey, we would like to meet, and they're like, hey, do you want to come over and swim? And we're like, sure. And so
I guess I'll back that up. We had asked Michael Meek, our friend Michael Meek had connected us with Matt and Carrie, and was like, hey, because Jason had wanted to get a chance to get to know the pastors. So Michael Meek connected us, and we went over to their house and swam in their pool.
Yeah. And it's like a Friday night. It's like we just like met each other. But here's the thing about doing that, though, that I think about it. It breaks down some walls, and you're kind of vulnerable in that sort of stuff. It's like, here's all of this, it's like. So
I didn't feel
in,
like that, but.
It's like, I got in the water real quick.
Fine.
I got in the water real quick. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
It's off the rails. Here we go. But we knew after that night, we were all in.
Yep.
We were all in, and so now that we've been here for a year, or a little over a year now, what's kept us here at Tribe?
So we made our own little 5 for 5 of what's kept us at Tribe, or what's kept us here at Tribe. And I'm going to take the first two. Love, obviously, it's plastered all over the walls here. You hear it every day. You see everybody with shirts on. So I think that's the easiest one here. Generosity is the second one, and Jason and I have always been the type of people. I mean, we've never had an abundance of money, and so I had wrote down. There's a devotion that I had read a couple of years ago. It's in the Bible app. It's called How to Thrive by 45. I'm not yet 45, but I had read this a couple of years ago and had flagged this little portion. So I will read it real quick. Here it says, generosity isn't ever about money. It's about the heart of abundance, a bounty of goodwill extended to those around us, regardless if they pay or praise us back. The best part about giving is just that, it's giving, without any strings attached, simply an offering from the heart. And I would say that for me has been one of the biggest things about Tribe, from the goals of the church wanting to offer 50% of whatever comes in every week to go out to the community, to the Give Light and Give Life campaign. And then if you didn't see this past week, the ARC launch that the church did 4 years ago, just the spirit that not only with our pastors and the founding team and the leadership team, but just recognizing that, those churches that launch who have the lowest number, I mean, what churches do that? What churches reach out to the people? So it's that generosity, that spirit of generosity.
The community and the friendships we made here are ones that we've prayed about, and we've had just secret desires of the heart to have these kind of friendships that we had.
I would say the brothers in Christ that Jason's found with Jeff and
yeah. Well, I
Jeff
collected
and Joe.
myself, so I was thinking you're going to take my point, but help me out here. We haven't known many people for very long, and we found out earlier this year that our son had been dealing with some mental health issues, and we hadn't, as parents, you think like, I thought we were doing a better job than that. And so I texted people that I'd maybe known 6 months. We're good friendships, but they came alongside of us and loved our son just like he was one of their own, and he's still with us today. So I'm so thankful for this church and the friendships, if not for anything, for that very moment. And lastly, we're so thankful for pastors that live out what they preach, especially when they're not on the platform. And we have had the privilege of getting to witness that firsthand. And we are so thankful that they lead by example, not only on the platform, but when the lights aren't on. So thank you, pastors. And
I think you skipped one.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, they do church differently. Something that we were in the pool and Matt's like, yeah, we don't take membership. And like old school me is like, what? That doesn't make sense. You have to but the beauty of that is it's like, but why? It's like, and it's beautiful and it's awesome and it's challenging me to grow my faith to see things differently. And so I'm so thankful for that. So.
And I'll chime in on that real quick as well, just from the fact that you won't see a lot of every week programming, and that's intentional. We love that part. We're doing life together, and if I want to meet up with the Bluets to have us go to the farmers market, we've got a midweek that's open to be able to do that, and we've grown up in churches, I think both of us, that we were in church every single night of the week, and we were just exhausted and burnt out and fatigued, and it's that intentionality that's there here at Tribe.
Yeah. So I get the honor to just say that if anything that, of course, good grief. If anything that we've said is connected or anything that anybody else has said is connected, if you've come to church for Tribe for a little bit and you're like, I'm on a fringe, I don't know. This is our personal invitation to invite you to make Tribe Church your home. And if you're a guest, we would love for you to stick around a little bit. There's a number you can text. You can text this number and just text next and just find out what the first steps are. We would love for you to be a part of this family, and we just love you a lot. So thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I knew we were going to go over.
Yeah, it's okay.
But we're all right.
We're all right. We're good. I texted the people in the back. Your kids are doing amazing back there. Best ever. Okay, so in January 2020, we started praying for God to bring us the people that would bring us the people. And then we all know what happened next. And then we had the whole situation with COVID, and then we worked really hard to get into the building, and then we couldn't use our building for another 5 months or 4 months or something. It's all on the timeline. You can read about it later. And we started up again, and it just felt like it was never going to get going. And then God brought us you guys. Those of you who've been here from the beginning, those of you who have come alongside us since then that have caught that vision, it's just been such an honor. And we confess to sort of watching other church planters sort of get scooped up by a bigger church in the country or in the community, or a person that would come and would say like, hey, like, we're gonna come alongside you and we're gonna like give you money and we're gonna give you like training. Like, we asked for mentors in training and people were like, we can't mentor a girl pastor. Like, we heard that over and over again, and we just were like, God, where are the people that are going to help us get this to what we can see? Michael Meek said last year, I needed people who could see a vision that I couldn't see yet, and we could see this, but we couldn't get there. And then God brought us you, and in the year 2020, our biggest reflection has been that we're the ones that we've been waiting for. We're the ones who are going to take us to the next level. There's not some big person coming to like swoop in and drop a bunch of money. Nobody's going to give us a building. We're not going to take on another congregation and that's going to like get us a bunch of tithers and blah, blah, blah. It's not happening. It's here, and we're going to have to crawl and scratch and fight for every single thing, and that's okay because you guys are worth it. So we have one more song for you today.
Yeah, it's sort of been our anthem because we are the people that we've been waiting for. We look around and we see the world the way it is, and we're like, man, I wish people would make a difference. Guess what? It's us.
Let's stand and sing together.
Million volts, pool of light, electricity in the room tonight. Born from fire, sparks flying from the sun. Hardly know you, I confess. I feel your heart beating in my chest. Come with me, tonight is gonna be the one.
'Cause you faith and no fear for the fight. You pull hope from defeat in the night. There's an image of you in my mind. Could be mad, but you might just be right.